Every time I go to Kansas City with my family, my mom and I have to go to Andre's. They have my favorite Quiche Lorraine. So today we're gonna make Andre's Quiche Lorraine. My coworker brought me some fresh eggs from her son's farm, so we have 2 of them. We're gonna scramble them up. Oh, that guy was a double yolk. He'll be all right. I usually use a fork just to whisk them, get them all incorporated. Try to get it where it's all smooth because you're gonna pour them into separate pie crusts. And sometimes if it's not completely smooth, you'll get more egg in one of them and then some of them won't have enough egg in them. I absolutely hate cooking bacon on the stove, so I'm gonna bake it in the oven. I've got the oven at 400 degrees. I'll put it in there for about 10 minutes and we'll see if it's crispy to my liking. So I only need half a cup of onion. I'm gonna chop up half of an onion, and if it's more than half a cup, which it probably will be, I'll just make an omelet some other time. That'll do for now. It's okay if it's a heaping cup. Alright, my timer for the bacon just went off. It's looking pretty good to me because it's going to cook a little bit longer while it's sitting on the pan. We're going to let it do that. And while that is continuing to cook, I'm going to put a tablespoon of butter in my skillet, and I'm going to saute the onions with the tablespoon of butter. And we're gonna saute it until it's just browning, and then we'll pull it off. My onions are just starting to brown, so I'm gonna turn the heat off and I'm gonna move it off of the burner and just let it sit there a little bit before I drain off the excess liquid. And then I'm gonna crumble up my bacon. The recipe only calls for a 1/4 cup of bacon, but I crumbled up a little bit more because I like bacon. We've got our Gruyere cheese, and then it actually calls for Emmentaler cheese, but I'm using Swiss instead because the grocery store I go to does not have the Emmentaler cheese. So we're gonna go ahead and shred these up. Now we're going to whisk the eggs, the spices, which we have salt, pepper, and nutmeg. And then we're gonna have cornstarch, milk, which I'm using almond milk because I don't have whole milk, and then also some cream. So we put the eggs in. We've got to have half a tablespoon of cornstarch, half a tablespoon of salt, and then we've got a teaspoon of pepper, and then 1/4 of a teaspoon of nutmeg. All right. And now I'm gonna dump in my almond milk. You can use whole milk, like I said, and then 1/3 of a cup of that cream. Okay, and then we're gonna whisk it together until it is all incorporated. I have pre-baked pie crusts. They're a little bit smaller than I prefer, but that's okay. It calls for 5-inch pie crust, but I don't have that, so I have 14 of the muffin pan size pie crusts. And then I'm just going to layer the onion bacon mixture and the cheese evenly through all of these. So I decided I'm only going to use 12 of the 14 because I like how full I got them with 12. So now I mixed both of the cheeses together. So now I'm just going to sprinkle that on top of the bacon and onion mixture. Okay, so I had some extra egg mixture and some extra cheese. So I filled in the last two little pie crusts, and then I'm gonna try a little experiment, and I put some of the cheese in the little muffin things without the crust, and then I poured the rest of the egg mixture on it. So we'll see how that goes as well. I'm now going to pop them in the oven, 375 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. I'll start with 25 minutes. All right, our quiche is looking good. So I'm pulling it out of the oven. It was about 28 minutes that I had it in. And now I'm gonna let them cool, and then they will be good to eat. I've taken our quiche out of the pan. It smells really good. And then we're gonna just cut it. And there we have it. Our miniature quiche Lorraine. Also, I let the non-crusty ones cook a little bit more, and this is how they turned out. All of them look just like the quiche, except for that one that I kind of ran out of the egg mixture, but that looks really good. I really like crusty cheese whenever you cook it, so I'm kind of excited to eat that one.